thing on vocal recording. I want you to start off and we'll warm up the room a little bit. Can you say ha? Can you say ha ha? Can you say ha 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 ha? And we'll walk around the room. We'll just try and get a bit of warmth into the room. So we start off with yourself. Here we go. Ha 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 ha. That's not fun. Well, thanks very much for your help. Yes, folks, I was in the garden last week with my son, 5. I don't know where my wife gets the names of the fucking kids. But we were in the garden, and my son came over to me and he said to me, Dad, he says, is there such a thing as a mammy long legs? And I said to him, a mammy long legs? He says, no, they're all fucking daddy long legs. He said, that's Grandad. No, I'm not his Grandad, I'm his real dad, you know. But he just said to me, that's Grandad. And I watched as he went over to the other side of the garden, back where he was, because I said to him, that's a strange question to ask. And when he got back over to the other side of the garden, he lifted his foot and he went, we'll have none of that gay shit in my fucking garden. I'm gonna have to look at my notes a bit. Yeah, and I was just thinking there the other day about jobs I've had. I've had a lot of jobs. I'm nearly 50 now, and I've gone through a lot of jobs in my lifetime. And I've thought back to the very first job I had. The very first job I had, a friend of my father's got me the job in the Dublin City morgue. And I always remember my first day in work. I turned up and his friend gave me a bucket and a sponge. This bucket was full of water, brought me into a room. There was 3 trolleys with sheets over bodies. And he said to me, wash them bodies and get them ready for the undertakers. I thought, fucking hell, what a job. So I done the job and anyway, and about a half an hour later he came back and he said, you finished your work? I said, yes, they're all done. And the sheets were back over them. And I said, that's great, come on and bring you and show you your next task. And I said to Mr. Smith, come here. I said, there's a little bit of a problem with the third body, which was a young girl. The 2 other bodies were old men. And he said, what's the problem? I said, I think she has a prawn stuck in her private part. And he said to me, a prawn? And I said, yeah. And he came over and he had a look, he lifted up the sheet and he had a look. He said, that's not a prawn, son. He says, that's our clitoris. I said, right, so well, it tasted like a fucking prawn. Another job that I had after that then, I became a genealogist for 1.5 years or so. And then I gave that up and I went to college and I became a gynecologist for a while. Now the only difference with them 2 jobs was, as a genealogist I was looking up people's family trees, and as a gynecologist I was looking up their family bush. Did you get there? Yeah. So I was here a couple of weeks ago in the Laugh and Langer. Were any of you in the Laugh and Langer, the comedy club down there? It closed down a couple of weeks ago. Not surprising if we were there, it's you. But we were doing the Laugh and Langer. And afterwards we went for a few pints and I went into this pub. I think it's the Old Oak, is it? Down in Cork? Yeah. The Old Oak. And I was in there and I got chatting to this lovely girl from Kerry, you know? And I said to her, what do you do? And she said to me she was in telesales. And I said, you wouldn't have a 26-inch bush you could have a look at, would you? And she said, okay. So I was there, I have to watch this, hold on for a minute. Yeah, so I decided we'd go back to her place and we'd make love. I actually ended up having a bit of a extracurricular marital activity with her that weekend. And we went back to her place and I got up into the bedroom and I was taking off my clothes and she said to me, how many women have you slept with? And I said, none, I'm always awake. So I got down to me briefs and I was dropping off my boxers and I turned around her and she was in the bed, she looked at me and when she seen that my penis was so small, she said to me, who the fuck are you going to satisfy with that? And I said, me. So I got home after the weekend, I had a great weekend and we made mad passionate love, but when I got home to my wife, I actually felt a bit guilty. Do you know, lads, the way you get that guilt complex in your head? You're saying, Jesus, I shouldn't have done it, I should have ballied up. You know that kind of stuff, lads? Look at the dog going, no. We always bally up. You know? But I got home and I decided the best thing for it would be, if I go to confession, and tell this was before the Ryan report, if I go to confession and I tell the priest, he can't tell anybody, he'd give me absolution, and then I'd still get into heaven, you know what I mean? The sin would be gone. So I went up to confession and I gave the confession verse, I said, bless me Father for I sin, I wrote a girl from Kerry. And he says, be sure anything's better than fucking walking, he says. No. You see, when you're getting old like me, you know, they don't always work. But do you have any nightclubs here in Middleton? No, none at all. Oh jeez, this is worse than Dublin, huh? Where I come, hey, when you get to my age in Dublin, there's nowhere for men in there from the 35 to 50 or 60 or 70 to go dancing. There's very few. There's probably the Merchant down on Merchant's Quay. Does anybody know the Merchant pub in Dublin? Well, the Merchant is like an adult dance. Have you ever been to an adult dance? Like an afternoon tea dance. That's where you have to go to pull a board now, you know what I mean? And I have to go to these places with my friend Rocky, right? And we've often gone to these places, and sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. But you always seem to pull the same, you know, end up with the same combination. You get the fat one and the skinny one, don't you? And the two of you are looking at each other, who's taking the fat one? I'm fucking not. It's your turn this week. Or you get the ugly one and the good looking one, right? So you always get that combination. But I was in the Tudor Rooms, which is in Barney's Hotel in Dublin. You've probably heard of Barney's Hotel. Recently with my friend Rocky, and one of my sexual fantasies came true. We got a mother and daughter combination. What resulted? Get them back to the gaff, huh? Now the mother wasn't too bad, you know what I mean? For 87, she was fresh. You know what I mean? She was really fresh for 87. And you know, at that age you tend to get a bit of a smell off them, you know what I mean? But, you know, there was no smell of piss off or anything like that. So I said, Rocky, just get them into a taxi. So we got them into a taxi, and Rocky said, I'm having the daughter. Now she wasn't bad for 62, I can tell you, you know what I mean? I've seen worse. So I said, in the taxi, Rocky. So Rocky got in the front, I got in the back with the two others. And I think Rocky got the fucking wrong end of the stick this time. I heard the daughter, well, I overheard her asking the mother for a lend of a tampon. I said to myself, Rocky, the monkey's nose is bleeding again. So we got back to the house, right? And up the stairs I went with the mother. I sent Rocky into the sitting room. And I got into the bedroom and she said to me, just make yourself comfortable. I'll be back in a few minutes. And I thought, brilliant. So I was on the edge of the bed getting stripped and all the rest of it, right? And she came back in with a big fucking pint glass of water. And I said, there's a woman who's considerate to her bleeding lovers, huh? She doesn't want me to be dehydrated tomorrow morning. And I said, was that water for me, love? I said, no, for me fucking teeth. Oh man, she put the glass on the bedside locker and she took her delf out, right, and she popped them into the glass and I thought, here we fucking go again. It's not too bad, you know, you're getting a bit of downstairs treatment and there's no teeth, but you know what I mean, sometimes it's even worse than that. But there I was, I was there and I got into bed, I said, well, look in this side, she said, yeah, fine. So I got into the bed. And she looked at me and said, hang on a minute. And she picked up this box. Do you ever see the little cardboard box you used to get jewellery and there'd be cotton wool in them? She had one of them. She lifted off the thing. And I thought, what she doing? She put her jewellery away. And she popped one of her eyes out. And she stuck it in the fucking box. And she stood there. She looked across the room and she says, are you ready for me now? And I thought, yeah, just turn the fucking light off. I think Angelina Jolie at this stage, you know what I mean? I said, I can in beside you now. And then she really took the biscuit. You know, when she took her hair off and put it in the drawer. I thought to myself, fucking hell, she takes that else off, there'll be nothing left to shag. You know what I mean? So there I was, and I said, well, what do you like? I said, are you adventurous in bed? And she said to me, yeah. And I said, could you do fellatio for me? And she says, I don't keep drinking the house, son. She thought it was some sort of alcohol, right? And I said to her, have you ever done a 69? And she said, do you get a flake with that? I said, no, but we get on with it anyway. So I got down under the covers, I got the knickers off her, and I thought to myself, this one is into drugs. Because there staring me straight in the face was 14 pound of crack. I may swear to God. So I got into the 69 position with her, and we were making mad passionate love. And I said to her, by the way, love, I said, that Titanic, that was an awful fucking disaster, wasn't it? She says, yeah, it was, yeah. And I said, all them kids, women and children screaming in that boat when it was going down. She goes, well, I said, what the fuck is bringing all this on? I said, I'm just reading this bit of old newspaper that's stuck to your arse. You know? Sorry about that. If it's not your kind of thing, just tell me. A friend of mine, he thinks his wife is having an affair with a jockey. No, he's not, because I'm not telling that fucking wrong.
Start again, Vinny.
Well, I'll finish up with that, folks. I think I've tortured you enough at this stage.
What's with the jockey? Start again.
It's not, I'm not fucking her up. I said she's supposed to think that his wife is having an affair with a horse. Because she came home last week and he found a jockey under the fucking bed. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks very much for your time. You've been very kind. Cheers.